Live tonight, the huge and impressive Houston Astrodome. Normally home to the Houston Astros and the Houston Oilers, but tonight home to the Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Fall Championships, featuring the Battle of the Monster Trucks. Hi again, everybody. I'm Ken Brew. My partner is Mike Galloway, and we've got pulling left to right tonight all over the dial, including some pretty fair two-wheel drive and monster truck competition.
Well, it's the end of the year. This is the final hook of the season. The Ford Budweiser Points Championships on the line, and Ken, they're going to take out all the stops. It's just going to be go for broke tonight.
Let's talk about some of the competitors we'll see tonight, Mike, particularly the two-wheel drives that we really haven't gotten a chance to see too much this year.
Rice Burner is going into this leading the competition. Looks like he may win it. We'll have to wait till the night's competition is over with to find out for sure, though.
And the monster trucks, too. A nice array of these monster truck competitors.
We've got a good set of monster trucks. Bigfoot's on hand. The new Samson truck is on hand, as well as a lot of other Texas trucks that are here tonight. It's going to be tough. There's 8 of them. It's going to be side by side and over the cars. A lot of fun.
And the best part about it is you don't even have to move because it's all right here tonight on ESPN. The Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Fall Championships, featuring the Battle of the Monster Trucks, is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood Age, for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Now we'll break it in tonight with the two-wheel drive modified sportsman class. And this truck comes from Oklahoma City, USA. This is the Oklahoma Warrior. Behind the wheel of the Oklahoma Warrior, you might say, Paula Ewan, Oklahoma City? No. Tonight, it's Mouse Rosellis, the rig driver. Mike Galloway had a chance to talk with him.
I'm with Charles Rosellis, and you could call him Charles, and he won't answer. Everyone knows him as Mouse. And Mouse, for a number of years, you've driven the haul rig for the Black Gold and Oklahoman trucks. How many years?
4 years.
And how long? How many miles?
I'd be afraid to say. Bunch of them.
A million?
Pretty close.
Tonight, we're going to drive something different.
Yeah, I'm going to try driving one of the pull trucks.
You think it'll be tough?
I know it will be.
What are you looking for, Mouse? What have you got on your mind?
Get it over with.
Just want to get it over with. Are you excited about it?
Yeah, really I am.
Think it'll be fun?
Yeah.
Would you like to do it all the time?
I believe it would.
You think you would?
I would.
Now, you've driven probably everything else. I've known you for a long time, and you've driven about everything that's got wheels on it. Do you think that this will be a different sensation with the supercharged motor?
Yeah, it will.
Well, we'll see if Mouse can live up to his reputation as the king of the road.
There is Mouse, who probably has a few butterflies, I would think.
Oh, Ken Brew, you know he's got to have a stomach full of them right now. First time he's ever had a helmet on in any kind of a modified racing type sport, pulling, racing, whatever. Supercharged 1,500 cubic inch, or 1,500 horsepower.
Yeah.
Chevrolet engine underneath the hood of the Oklahoma Warrior.
A little different than driving down I-35, but we'll see how did he get the nickname Mouse?
Well, his father gave all of his brothers nicknames. He's got a brother named Kisses and another one named Ish. Let's see what he does. He rolls it out. Good job. He's got a good hook.
He could do it. Whoa!
Bonsai'd it right down to the end. Outstanding hook.
And you know the front end suspension is okay. He goes bouncy down the track, and Mouse plays cat with it and wins. Look at this. Right from the start, he meant business.
Look at this. He eases into it. Now he breaks the tires loose. He's kind of getting a hold of the throttle. It's a hand throttle. He's not used to that. But look at the butterflies. They're wide open. It's up on the wheelie bars. You're getting a little bit of fuel out of that right rear cylinder. But Ken Brew, this is a great pass for this truck. The box top's right here. All the weight on it puts him back up in the air and takes it right down to the end. Look at him just straining. He looks like he's going to be a little bit short of a full pull, but it was an absolute beautiful job.
And for the Oklahoma Warrior tonight, with Mouse Rosellis behind the wheel, 194 feet 7.5 inches. But if you've been with us for any of these shows, you know there is no more mythical name in pulling than Alan Gaines, the pride of Georgetown, Kentucky. Tonight, you're looking at one of the finest two-wheel vehicles in America. This is the Orange Blossom Special. And there is the man.
Well, he's been around it forever. He knows it, reads tracks.
He is it.
And he can handle a job. But tonight, he's got to go outside.
He has to go through the door here. And here he goes.
Waited. He did it.
He did it. Alan Gaines has done it.
Well, Kimbrough, I thought he had waited entirely too long. Didn't think it was there because he didn't call for the motor till it looked like he was about 100 foot down the track.
The other thing I was concerned about, he looked like he was playing chicken with that left-hand foul line, and as we look at it again on the replay, it will be interesting to see if indeed he was battling at all as he came down the final 50 feet or so. Here he is, the Orange Blossom Special, and the man who made it, Alan Gaines.
Watch him play with it off the line. He's got good tire speed. Well, he didn't play with it near as long as I thought he did. But Kimbrough, I don't think the tires catch up and get a bite till right in this area. They're just breaking loose. They're spinning hard. And then he comes around. And here we go. We're going to go to the left-hand side of the... Yeah, look at that. He had to almost bring it to a halt, land it, turn the tires, jerk it around, and then got back on the throttle with the box at the top and still pulled it out. Unbelievable.
This is the rice burner. This is the cream of the crop. This is Bill Romsberg from Alverton, Pennsylvania. And as we've said a number of times, this is hands across the sea, an 87 Toyota cab and a good old USA 526 Chevy right through the hood.
Well, Kimbrough, he needs to make as good a pass as he's ever made in his life. There's probably more resting on this than any pass he's made all year long. I'd say to kind of really put the cap on it, he needs to go out the gate.
Let's see if he can do it. The rice burner.
He did it early. Front end comes up. He's headed to the sideline. Whoa! Out of bounds.
He took Old Glory with him. And Mike, there will be points deducted for that, I would think. Is he out?
They will take the measurement from where he went out of bounds and subtract from that.
Okay.
So that's the way the measurement will come about on this one.
And while we have a moment, it's a good time to remind you that one of our fine sponsors is Kendall Oil, the exclusive choice for many of the nation's top truck and tractor pull competitors. Kendall. Bill Romsberg took a hit, 30 feet to be exact for going OB, and his distance tonight, 165.8. So we'll wait and see if that's enough for him. But now back on track 2, where the two-wheel drives call home. We have the Steel City Shaker, an orange flash, guaranteed to rough up your evening. This is Bob Zundel, New Alexandria, PA, and the 86 Chevy S10, and a relatively modest 482 Chevy through the hood.
Well, they have really done a lot of work on this truck. He's got good ground speed. He's a little bit nose heavy. Let's see if he can get out. He's going to get down close.
Real close. Now, Mike, he had a smaller engine, 482. If perhaps it was up in the 500s, might he have gone through the door?
That's a good chance, Kimbrough, but, you know, in this class, doesn't always mean cubic inch wins. He could have got it out that time. I think it was a little nose heavy. You didn't see that truck jump up in the air like you've seen so many of them before, but it was a good job on the truck for Bob Zundel.
Well, the only thing that would shake up the Steel City more than Bob Zundel would probably be a Super Bowl win for the Steelers. They're not getting that this year, but the Steel City Shaker had himself a fine pull, 192 feet, 10 1/4 inches. And now backing in, may the force be with you, is the Darth Invader. Grand Blanc, Michigan is home for George Stinnett in the 88 Chevy Astrodome.
He's the man that has a shot at it tonight.
But he's got to go all out, doesn't he?
He really needs the full pull.
Here we go.
This thing's on the line. He can win it tonight. He's off to the right-hand side and in trouble. Can he bring it around?
Mike, I'll tell you what, as he still settles down, an interesting pull. I would say about 100 feet down the track, he got goosed by the sled.
Well, Ken, he was up in the air and saw that he was going out of bounds. He didn't want to make the same mistake that Bill Romsberg made. And Bill and he are the ones that are in the hunt for this championship. So he backed out of it, let the front end come down. When he did, he had so much speed, the sled bumped him in the butt.
Now, it was not a full pull, but it will be interesting when they tally it up to see if it's enough to beat Romsberg because of all the points that Romsberg had deducted. Here's the replay.
Up in the air, and I mean high. But look at it immediately go to the right. It's just like he turned the steering wheel, and he's headed out. Now, here's where he lets it down.
See that?
He backed completely out of it. You saw the tires go flat. It's amazing that he's got enough horsepower to get the front end back up in the air and get the momentum going to take him further down the track. I believe he's going to be up amongst the leaders.
We'll see if it's enough for the Darth Invader, who had one of the more interesting runs down the track of the night. George Stinnett behind the wheel of Darth Invader, 188 feet 6 inches. And again, we wait to see how that affects the overall point standings with the Rice Burner and Bill Romsberg.
Watch out. The wildest show on wheels is about to roar into your living room. It's the ultimate home video. Blood, sweat, and gears. Bigfoot takes on the toughest full-blown competition ever before facing his greatest test when Sergeant Slaughter and his battle battalion challenge Bigfoot to an all-out tug of war. So if you want gear-jamming, car-crushing, down and dirty action, get your credit card ready. Your video now. Call 1-800-351-1500. Blood, sweat, and gears.
All right, here's how it goes down on the two-wheel drive. The Steel City Shaker finishes third, and the Oklahoma Warrior with the old mouse behind the wheel. But the winner and still champ in the Orange Blossom Special is Alan Gaines. Alan, congratulations on another great night.
Well, thank you.
Hi, Alan. Mike Galloway. From up here, it looked like that track was jerking you around and jerking all the pullers around as it went down. Looked like it had a real strange bite to it.
Mike, the track's got soft places and hard places in it, and you'll get a bite and it'll turn you loose, and then it'll throw you to the left and then the right. Then you got to get on a brake, and then if you get on that brake, you know what happens. You lose traction on that offside, and you've either got to come down and touch the ground to stay in bounds, or you're going out.
It was a tricky situation, all in all, driving tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a real tricky track, and it's like the tractors, you know. One tractor would hook up, and the next one wouldn't. Yeah,
we saw that up here. Well, Alan, you know, it's not a surprise. You've been in this winter circle a jillion times, and we hope you're back there that many more. And we thank you for being with us tonight, and congratulations for the win.
Thank you, Mike.
Alan Gaines, the winner of the two-wheel drive competition here at the Houston Astrodome. There is the famous offspring of Art Arfons, Dusty Arfons. And if you are not one of the initiated in pulling, Dusty is Dusty as in female. Art's pride and joy.
And her middle name is Allison, after engine, Allison aircraft engine.
How about that? Well, she's a jet just like that. She's also 22. She's a Kelly girl, been driving this particular tractor for a couple of years. It's a custom-built T55 Lycoming, and it features a 3,000 horsepower engine.
Her dad drove this tractor, and it's actually a pair of turbines. There's another little starting turbine and moving around turbine just to the right-hand side of the T55 Lycoming. Single beam. And Ken Bruce, something interesting about this tractor, it has got the rear end, you can't actually steer it with the rear brakes because of the way the rear end is set up on it. So, you know, most of these guys, there's a shot of their little starting motor and moving around motor, and that's a little turbine that's used in power plants and various other things. But the rear end setup on this is set up so that she actually has no control as far as the brakes. She can help it, you know, she could kind of keep it in line. But as far as mashing the brakes, locking the wheels, and bringing it around, it can't happen in this tractor.
People are wondering, good shot at Dusty right there. Some people are wondering how tall is the tractor at its highest point. Well, you would see it right there behind the wheels, 6 feet. 6 feet tall, and goes about 5 feet wide. And it does nothing without the blessing of Art, who is right there on screen left, checking Dusty out as she prepares to fire it up.
They've recently gone through a problem with a short in the wiring on this tractor that when they had them, you really leaned into the motor, it would tilt and shut it off. Look at the fire.
Look at that. Well, the engine is lit. The flag at the other end of the track is green. And this pull is at the whim of Dusty Arfons.
Let's watch her run. Beautiful young lady, single and chic, and handle a pulling tractor. 18.
Not unlike a helicopter engine. It's got to warm up a little bit, doesn't it?
It is a helicopter engine, exactly. And what they're doing is bringing the RPMs up to operating capacity. Now the motor turns loose. Not a lot of noise, but a lot of action. Oh, Dusty's on a good ride.
but not tonight. So it kind of falls apart for Dusty Arfons. The Dragon Lady tonight only 118 feet and 7 inches. But the next man we're going to see is the legend. This is Art Arfons, 56 years young, who, frankly, if you follow the sport, you can hear of no bigger name. He is to tractor pulling what Alan Gaines is to two-wheel drive and show pulling. Art from close to my neck of the woods, Akron, Ohio. And, of course, has all the famous offspring to go along with it. In fact, there's Dusty right there, going to help Art out just like Papa helped her out before.
And his son Tim is also here tonight. Art is currently ranked number 2 in this final event of the Ford Budweiser points series for 1988. So he would like to improve that situation.
He would need a full pull, is that what you're saying?
Well, it depends on what he does, and it depends on what Steve Jaski does.
Well, he's going to light it up here, I'm sure. These are 2 GE T64 turbines. And again, Allison aircraft engines. So Art, who knows this kind of track, knows the job he's got to do, and obviously knows what he's driving, is well-versed to get what he needs tonight.
And at his age, there is a heavy rumor going around.
Yes.
That Art Arfons will attempt next year to break the world's land speed record.
Is that right? Is he going to go out west to do that?
He will go to the Salt Flat.
Not in this, though.
No. That's just rumor, Ken Brew.
Okay. Well, that's what we do best. Art's lighting it up.
Watch the fire. When this man says fire in a hole, he means fire in the hole. There it is.
Whoa. Oh, my.
And light bulbs are going off all over this place.
Great tire speed.
Now, he's in for a wild ride. He's all over the track. Ooh. Ken, we are seeing some action tonight for the simple reason they are almost impossible to run a tractor straight. We haven't seen a straight pass down the track tonight, and a lot of times you'll get a track, and for some unknown reason, it has a pull built in it. It'll either pull the vehicle to the left or pull the vehicle to the right. Now, if you remember in the two-wheel drive class, we had trouble keeping those guys in bounds. Well, we're having trouble in this tractor class keeping them in bounds.
And here's the replay, and we'll see where it goes south for Art, because, as we said, he had great tire speed at this point.
The right rear tire is loaded. It's got a lot of wrinkle in it. The left rear, if you can see, is spinning real hard, and that's taking him to the left. Now he's going to pull around to the right real heavy. Both the tires hook up. He just barely kept it in bounds, but he did keep it in bounds, so his measurement will go down without a deduction off of it. A good job for Art Arfons, but I know he's got to be more than a little disappointed. He was capable of a full pull.
140 feet, 8 inches for the Green Monster. Battling, as Mike Galloway said, the left side of the track. And this is the Dirt Slinger 2. This is Bill Leichner, Weldon, Illinois. Bill's been sticking close to Illinois, did a lot of county fair type polls during the summertime. He's got 3 injected engines and just makes a ton of noise when he goes down the track. Look at the engines as we line them up for you front to back.
His dad's been ill. Will he get well soon? Watch him. He's got a problem. He runs to that side of the track, works his way around it. Oh, beautiful job. Beautiful job. Ken Brew on the front of that tractor. There's a little white card, and that's a letter from Willie, his dad, to all the pullers here tonight. And Willie, there it is. Willie, we miss you. Get well and get back. He wrote it with crayons.
Yeah. Well, it's not over till it's over, but it looks pretty good for the rice burner in the two-wheel drive class. Bill Romsberg is the man behind the wheel on that particular truck, and he's with our Mike Galloway right now.
Well, congratulations, Bill, for a 1988 national championship. How does it feel?
Well, thank you, Mike. It feels we put a lot of miles on, and we'd like to take this time to thank Ford and Budweiser sponsors for putting this program on for us.
Bill, when you started out the year, did you have this in mind as a goal?
Well, we thought we'd try to make a run at it, but this is our first full year of competition. We didn't know whether we were able to or not, but it seems like we've been pretty successful.
Bill, is it a monetary thing or is it a personal thing, a national championship?
I think it's more a personal thing than anything.
How long have you been pulling, and especially in this two-wheel drive class?
Just about a year and a half now. We were a little late. The class started in September. We come out in February of that year.
With a year and a half under your belt and you're a national champion, what about 1989?
Well, we've got an exhibition vehicle now. 89, we're going to try to make all the shows and see if we can do it again.
Bill Romsberg, first full year as competition, and he's a national champion in a two-wheel drive class.
And backing in and getting ready to go is the Blazing Bison, Steve Jaski from Golden Lake, Wisconsin. Homemade tractor, 3 engines, 1985. Well, you know, the sheet says 3, but it looks like 4. Is 4?
There's 4 motors, 2 in line, and one of them that are setting clutch to clutch, one in front of each tire. They're all aluminum Aries engines. They're taking off of a Chevrolet design.
He didn't take it out of his car or something when he came here tonight, right?
Took it out of his two-wheel drive.
Is that right?
Slacks out of the chain. The visor comes down. There sits a young man that raced snowmobiles. Look at the horsepower, 1,500 apiece. He's got a good hook. That's close.
It's very close. Sure does make a lot of noise, doesn't it?
When you've got 4 Aries, you can make a lot of noise.
Steve Jaski from New Berlin, the Blazing Bison tonight, 159 feet and 4 inches. Well, the modified trucks have gone to a pull-off. We have 4 involved in the pull-off. From the mythical racing city of Turlock, California, it's the Wild Hare and Dan Quello. He'll be followed by Mark Hunter from Tyler, Texas, Mark and Old Yeller, and then Yellow Fever. That's Bob Bauman from Saxonburg, PA. And then last out of the chute in the pull-off will be Red Grogan from Clinton, Kentucky, in the Little Hillbilly. But it'll be Wild Hare to lead things off here.
He's the first man to go to the sled. Now, they've reweighted the sled. The box will come up the ramp a little faster this time, transferring that weight from a rolling weight to a dragging weight. Dan's moved over to almost the middle of the track, and he cleans out the big Hemi motor.
There you see the sled that has been reweighted. So don't look for a full pull right now.
Watch Coelho. He can do it. Box on his way up. Dan's on his way down. And there, Ken Brew will be the mark for the other 3 gentlemen to try to surpass.
All right, we'll move over to the tractor side of things. And sliding on in is Don Nelson. And this is the Texas Flash. Bernardo, Texas. Don is only 24. His real business is trucking, but he's been involved in this sport since he was 16 years old.
And at the age of 16, I had the pleasure of watching this young man drive a little single engine, 1 carburetor, naturally aspirated, about 500 horsepower tractor.
Well, he's gone to a 1983 homemade job here. Chevy engine, full blown.
3 big Chevys, and he is a tremendous driver. Cocks the hammer, fires it, it's in the air, he's on his way. He's got a good straight pass, too.
Oh, man.
And Dan, there is a situation, I think we saw what we talked about earlier. The person that hooks a tractor, keeps it straight all the way down, and can keep from fighting the brakes is going to win this, and we've just seen a man do it.
Texas Flash. Well, there's the Wild Hare, Dan Quello, first in the pull-off tonight with a 151.11 1/4 inches. So that's the mark that the other 3 have to beat to win. Now, Donald Nelson has just charged to the lead in the tractor pull. Texas Flash, the full pull tonight. Just barely, but it was the full distance. All right, now let's move back over to 4-wheel drive. Old Yeller, the second in the 4 pull-off. Old Yeller with the full pull originally. Now we'll try to beat the mark set by Dan Quello.
There's a lot of classic Chevrolet fans here tonight pulling for Old Yeller. Now the mark 151.11 1/4 is where they put the brake to Dan. That's where the sled topped out. Let's see if he can do it. Yeller's on his way. He's trying. He's trying.
It's going to be close.
I think we've just seen Old Yeller go to the lead. Believe that dog's hunting tonight.
Well, it's not Tom Cruise behind the wheel. It's Ron Washkow in Top Gun. Again, a leading member in that tractor pulling family from Iowa Falls, Iowa, 2 Allison aircraft engines, and he must pull it the full distance to catch Donald Nelson.
These are side by side, set on about a 45-degree angle, unlike a lot of them you're seeing. They still have each individual clutch. One of them goes through a clutch, and then the output shaft into a cross box with one drive shaft coming out of them to couple them to the rear end. 30.5, 32 tires, almost perfectly smooth. Only about a half of an inch is all the tread or lug that's cut into them. Takes forever, about 40 hours, to grind all the rubber off these tractor tires.
Is that right?
Cut your design into them. And it is a very back-breaking job.
Waiting for the green flag at the other end of the track. He's got it now. Ron Washkow must do the full pull to get into the money.
He's got a good hook, but it's not going to be enough tonight.
Died on him. Now, what would those flames be, Mike? And a little fire down here, if you notice.
It's burning off of excess alcohol, and that on that side is probably a little oil leaking out on a hot header. They're using a fire extinguisher to kind of...
Yep, there it goes. He's got it.
Get some of the fire out.
Nope, it's back up again.
Evidently, there's fire everywhere on the tractor, but I think that's just hot oil fire.
He's not in trouble, is he?
No, I don't think there's any trouble at all. There it is, and that's all that is, Ken, is just a little hot oil out on the header. It's kind of capped it off. There's not a problem with the tractor.
Mike, this died on him about halfway down the track.
Well, he was on his way and had a good hook. Tractor looked like it was hooked good with a lot of power. But when this sled gets on top of you, there's not a whole lot you can do. The track's got a lot of bite to it, but you really have to have a good hole shot with a lot of tire speed and a lot of power down at the end of the track to possibly keep this thing going. And there you see the excess alcohol coming out of it and burning off as it hits the atmosphere.
And we'll be right back here from the Astrodome in Houston with more four-wheel drive competition in just a moment. So here's the way it goes down tonight in the tractor pull. Steve Jaske blazing bys in third, then Leischner in the dirt slinger second, and the pull of the night belongs to Donald Nelson in the Texas Flash. He goes the full pull. Let's go down trackside and talk to the young man from Bernardo, Texas. Donald, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hi, Don. This is Mike Galloway. The track tonight, of course, you made a beautiful pass. It was just picture perfect. But the track, from our vantage point, looked like it was really jerking you around, making a lot of the tractors pull from one side to the other. Did you have that problem?
No, I didn't. I had a straight run. I didn't even have to touch a brake tonight.
Well, you looked good going down the track. What kind of balance? It was acted like it was perfect.
I think I had perfect balance tonight. It came up about halfway through, and then it leveled back out, and the motor just really worked when it leveled out. You know, the power came down, and the tires just hooked to the track.
Good biting track tonight, wasn't it?
Oh, excellent.
Donald, how does it feel to win in front of your home state crowd?
Well, it feels real good. It's my first win here in the Dome. I've been here about 5 seasons now, and my first win, so I'm real happy.
Donald Nelson, who did it all tonight with the full pull and has won the tractor pull competition. A lot of champions will be crowned tonight, but one already has got the goods. In the tractor competition, there is no finer than Steve Jaske. He's with our Mike Galloway right now. Mike?
How's it feel, Steve?
Oh, real good. It's we've won a couple championships before in the truck. This is the first one with the tractor. We worked real hard on it all year long. It was kind of a goal in the beginning of the year, and we're just tickled pink. The whole crew and family and everybody put a super effort in this year, and we're real happy to be the national champs.
What does it mean to you, Steve? Is it a monetary thing, or is it something that you've just wanted personally?
Well, it's something. The monetary thing, well, of course, helps, but it's the money comes and goes, and it's kind of the prestige thing of it. Nobody can take the fact that you were a champion away from you. The money, you can blow that away in one weekend with a blown engine, but the championship itself is what a person really strives for.
Steve, how long have you been involved in motorsports? I know that before you and your dad got into pulling, you were involved in something that maybe a lot of people aren't familiar with.
Yeah, we've always been involved. I had kind of a funny story in the family. I was brought to the drag race at the track with my father in the baby carriage, but before we got involved in tractor pulling, we used to race snowmobiles, being back from up north in Wisconsin, but that kind of died down, maybe 5-6 years ago, and we kind of got turned our interest in the tractor pulling, and it's been a headache ever since.
Steve's been a headache for a lot of people. through the year. He's national champion for 1988.
Well, don't bathe old Yeller, because he flees down the track tonight 163 feet and 1.5 inches. Backing in now is Yellow Fever. Again, the third of the 4 vehicles that went to the full pull.
Bob Bauman out of Saxonburg, Pennsylvania. He has a busing business, and right now he's in business pulling the sled. It wasn't there for him, Ken. He
Nope.
just didn't have the horsepower to get up and run with the Coelho truck or the Hunter Brothers truck.
Well, there was no cure for Yellow Fever tonight. Bob Bauman, 132 feet and 6 inches. He gets to the dance floor, but does not go home with the pretty girl. And Red Grogan's Hillbilly, the last in the pull-off. Here he goes.
Red really has to hook and hook hard. Let's see if he can beat the Hunters. He's gonna be close.
Well, he had to go 163 feet plus. We'll wait for the official measurement, but he appears to be a little short.
I think he may be a little bit short. The Hunter boys out of Tyler, Texas, have taken home a big one, it looks like. But as we mentioned, we will wait on the official measurement.
Well, the little hillbilly came to the big city tonight, hoping to wow the city folks, but it just didn't happen for Red Grogan. 151 feet, 5 3/4. Red Grogan got to the pull-off, but could not make it happen once he got there.
But it's enough for a national championship.
And that, my dear friend, is the big story.
Well, Red, it's been a long year, and you've had a good, successful year. You're the new 1988 national champion. How does it feel?
Well, it feels good. She couldn't told me this back in January, because we had all year to go, and I've had a good year at it. Of course, you get lucky numbers sometime, and you get the right tracks to work a good motor and a big motor, and everything worked out good for me, but still yet down the road, you can't get lucky every week. So week after week, I've been good and consistent, and I'm just tickled to death to be the champion.
Red, what about 1989?
Well, I'm going out to try to do it again. Of course, I'm going to try to get a little sponsorship to help out, and of course, I don't think I could ever done it this year if I hadn't had this new Ford truck, because it's done such a good job for me that it's far better than all of them I had before, and I've always had Ford. But this new truck has done the job for me. So I'm going all out this next time. I'd like to be at 2 years in a row.
Red Grogan wants it for 2 years in a row, but this year, he's got it in a bag.
All right, here's how it went down tonight in the modifieds. Red Grogan, the little hillbilly, finishes third, then Coelho in second place. In the winner, and Texas champ, is Mark Hunter and Old Yeller. Let's go down to the track and talk to Mark. Mark, you knocked off a couple of big names tonight in Coelho and Grogan. You got to feel great about that.
Yeah, I sure do. There are a couple of pretty good trucks, and a lot of good trucks here tonight, matter of fact, and we're real happy to win.
Right.
Mark Hunter, Mike Galloway, we're used to seeing that truck with a short wheelbase, and recently you've extended the wheelbase back to a longer style. Does the truck act a lot different, or does it pull better with a long wheelbase?
Yeah, it sure does. We added about 20 inches in the wheelbase, and it seemed to hook up overall quite a bit better.
Was the track a good biting track tonight?
It was a pretty fair track, sure was.
We want to congratulate you on a big win at the Astrodome, and thank you for being with us.
Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Mark Hunter from Tyler, Texas, the winner in the modified competition tonight. Well, look at this. It is an absolute showpiece. Gary Collins has gone back to El Dorado Springs, Missouri, put his head together with a bunch of his other helpers and planners, and have come up with a new and improved Budweiser Boss. Here's Mike Galloway with more.
Gary Collins is with us, and a brand new Budweiser Boss. Well, Gary, this is sleek and racy looking. What is it?
It's a new 1989 LTA 9000 Ford Aeromax.
Is this the first time out for it?
Debut tonight.
When did you finish the truck?
We left home about 6 o'clock last night.
And it was just finished at that time?
Yes, sir.
It's 2 supercharged Hemis, still the basic same driveline.
Pretty well basic as the way the other truck was, but it's got a whole new look.
Haven't got the inside done yet, though.
No, we didn't quite get there. We hope the outside is pretty well complete.
Gary, will it still go out the door?
I believe it will, maybe even better.
We'll see with Gary's new all sleek and aerodynamic Budweiser Boss.
And, of course, you can get this at virtually any Ford showroom around the country, right?
Well, you can get part of this at the Ford dealership.
Here we go. Whoa!
Gary says, I'll just park it right here.
You don't think those guys that own those monster trucks down there were saying, wait a minute?
You don't, well, the sled man, he is the one that, of course, by now he's got to be used to it. Collins will take it anywhere he wants to.
Almost took it to Padre Island.
The Budweiser boss, Gary Collins. What can you say besides, let's park right here?
Oh, Gary, that boat's for you. And as most of our competitors have discovered tonight, you need C-Pec tires, giant puller tires. You just can't win without them. We're back at the Astrodome in Houston. Ken Brew along with Mike Galloway, and this is what they came to see. This is the final act in the play. This is the Battle of the Monster Trucks, and there are 8 of them here tonight. They'll start with the Big Kahuna. And that's not Mike Galloway. That's Norman Myers out of Oklahoma City. Why so many competitors tonight from Oklahoma City? It's amazing. Talk about the format here tonight, Mike. What are these competitors going to be doing?
They'll start on the dirt part of the track, down the track, make a U over the cars, and finish with the finish line.
There's the Big Kahuna. Again, Norman Myers out of Oklahoma City. Good shot of Norman there.
Fuel-injected big block Chevrolet sits underneath the hood of the Big Kahuna. He's not a newcomer to this. He's been racing this truck for quite a while.
They're going side by side, and there on the other side of the track is Four Wheel Crazy. That's Rob Morris from Fort Worth, Texas.
Mark him tough. It's a supercharged Chevrolet motor, 800-plus horsepower, and it's a 1979 Toyota. Predator carburetors, automatic transmission, and it is a dynamite piece. Little Toyota against the big, long wheelbase of the Big Kahuna.
Four Wheel Crazy, estimated value of $75,000. There's the Four Wheel Crazy. To the near side is the Big Kahuna, and they're waiting for the green flag that has not dropped yet.
Putting them on the line and getting them all matched up, side-by-side action, so we find out in a hurry who's going to win this as we line them up and head them down 200 foot of track. And the countdown has started on the green light. It looks like the Kahuna gets out a little bit early, and the Kahuna is on the throttle, and he will go around the flag. So this is where the rear wheel steering comes into play. It's side-by-side right now. Four Wheel Crazy's got a little bit of a lead. Had to back out of it just a moment. He's up on the cars, flying through the air. Here comes the Kahuna.
Oh, man.
Nailing the throttle, and it is Four Wheel Crazy.
Oh, my. Oh, my. As the Big Kahuna is stuck on the pile of Chryslers in the center of the auditorium, but Four Wheel Crazy, Mike, made its move on that turn. We have seen it time and again where these monster trucks, win it or lose it, when they make the turn, it was a nice tight turn for Four Wheel Crazy.
That's a little short wheelbase. Of course, the little Toyota truck is short. But look, here's the Big Kahuna. They've torn the front drive shaft out of it, and the traction bars are hanging down. Now, how do you get a 15,000-pound truck off of a set of crushed cars? Well,
very carefully.
Very carefully, and we've got some equipment here tonight that can remove the Big Kahuna from the crushed cars.
So give race 1 to Four Wheel Crazy and maybe say goodbye to the Big Kahuna. All right, on the near side is Big Toe. That's Ray Perkowski from St. Louis, and he will go up against the modern-day outlaw Buster Guffey from Griffithville, Arkansas. There is the outlaw, 86 Chevy S10, 454, big block engine.
Supercharged big block motor.
Oh, you got to be supercharged when you're sitting on top of all that.
But on this side with the Big Toe, he's got a supercharged Ford motor, and it's neck and neck, but the Toe's got a little bit of a lead. The Toe has got the lead. Let's see if he can make the turn. Buster Guffey is running without planetaries. He's a little bit lighter, but it's a little harder on equipment. Let's see. The Toe is crooked when he hits the car. Straightens out at the last minute. This is going to go down to the finish line.
Oh, my.
Buster Guffey takes it off the side, and Big Toe and Buster Guffey takes out the finish line on the far side.
Just barely for Big Toe, as Guffey made a nice turn around the flag, but Mike seemed to lose a little bit just before he hit the cars.
Couldn't get the couldn't get the back of the truck straightened up. And I'll tell you what, Ray did a great job. He was in trouble coming up to the cars, but at the last minute hit the rear steering and made the adjustment. By the way, the big toe, the wrecker, is a fully working wrecker.
Well, it ought to be, because Perkowski in St. Louis owns his own towing company, Superior Towing. And you might as well go with the best if you got it. There it is, big toe. Here are, at the top of your screen, Bigfoot. That's from St. Louis, Missouri, the legendary Bigfoot. And Rebel's Revenge from Grand Rapids, Michigan is the other.
Ken Keeling driving Bigfoot, this particular Bigfoot truck. And the gentleman out of Grand Rapids is Bill Jones. The Chevrolet versus Ford. Of course, the 87 or Ford truck, supercharged, big motor, and then a Chevrolet on this side. So it's a naturally aspirated Chevrolet against a supercharged Ford. The Rebel would like to make a name for himself, running Foot.
Now, Foot has had so many great drivers, and Keeling getting his turn tonight. He's 31 years old and has been involved in racing for 5 years.
Watch Kenny out of the hole. The Bigfoot covers him. He's got him covered about 2 trucks. Let's see if he can make a turn. Beautiful job.
Nice tight turn.
He's got a tight turn. He's got it.
He's got
easing around, and the Rebel's in trouble on the turn. Foot doesn't show any mercy.
Oh, man.
Off the cars, nails the throttle. We're home free
No
for
contest.
Bigfoot.
Rebel's Revenge could not make the turn. In fact, that looked like he was going to take out the tractor at center field, but now here he comes around to complete it. But it is all an exercise in futility, as Bigfoot has won this heat and has won it hands down. The Monsters continue to roll in just a moment when we come back from the Astrodome in Houston. This Astrodome and the Monster Truck competition continues. All right, the 4th heat. Bottom part of your screen. That is Larry Garville from Victoria, Texas, in the Texas Stomper. And we'll go up against Dan Patrick from Kingston, Ohio, in Samson 2. Samson 2, a 1989 Chevy Silverado, 513 engine.
This is only the 3rd time for Dan Patrick to ever drive a monster truck. He's been driving funny cars and dragsters in the pulling world for quite some time. Don't watch that Texas Stomper. I'll tell you what, he's super tough truck. But don't count out Dan Patrick just because he's new at this game. He
Wide turn.
made some good passes.
Oh.
Texas Stomper almost puts it over on its side. It's side by side when they hit the cars. The Stomper is in a little bit of trouble.
Man.
He noses down, pulls it out at the last minute. The Stomper still having trouble shutting it down, and he went in front of the Samson truck. Ooh!
I'll tell you, it looked like Garville was out to make a name for himself.
That is one of the most action-packed races I've ever seen in monster trucks.
Texas Stomper with the win here tonight, and that despite a real wide turn. Watch the turn he makes.
Watch him get real tight on it in the front. At this time, it comes up on its side. We're going to go over to Samson. Dan Patrick makes a good turn, but he looks over and sees what's happening, and here the Stomper, Texas Stomper, has got it straightened out. Watch him, Ken Brew. He's up in the air.
Oh, man.
And, I mean, flying. Then it angles off to the left-hand side. He lands in a little trouble, goes right up on the nose. He looked at the floor of the Astrodome, and then he bounces over the finish line, and looks like to me he's got stopping problems. Of course, he can't keep it down long enough to shut it off, but he does go on.
All right, so now we move into the 2nd round. And 4x4, the 4-wheel crazy, I should say, is at the top of your screen, and down below, that's Big Toe. They both had won heats before, and now they'll go side by side. There's Big Toe.
Supercharged Ford, supercharged Chevrolet, Toyota, and Ford bodies. The toe is completely functional, and 4-wheel crazy, well, it showed itself to be very functional early. This ought to be a great race. Big Toe and 4-wheel crazy. Here again, Ken, they are so close, but when they get to the turn, it's going to tell the tale. But the little bitty Toyota truck has got the advantage tonight, a true advantage, and he's going to coast over the cars to the finish line.
All kinds of steering problems for Big Toe, and he goes off to the side, and
4-wheel crazy takes a win.
No contest as Big Toe gets hung up in the middle of the pack. Nice driving tonight by Rob Morris out of Fort Worth in 4-wheel crazy. There's Rob. All right, we'll move into yet another round. The Texas Stomper is coming back on the track, and we'll go head-to-head with Bigfoot. Stomper to the top of your screen, Bigfoot down low. Now, Mike, who is that, and what does he have?
That's George, and George is a head pitman for Bigfoot tonight. That's not a walkie-talkie. That is a remote control kill switch. He can kill that truck anywhere in this arena. If the driver was to become incapacitated at any time or be out of control, all George has to do is push the button and it will shut the engine down and stop the truck. You know, Bob and Marilyn Chandler with the Bigfoot truck, always innovative, and this idea with the remote kill switch is something that needs to be done. It will keep an unfortunate accident from happening if the driver, and I've seen this thing actually work in competition several times, and it's something that all these trucks should be equipped with.
Here comes the green, and here they go.
Kenny's sleeping a little bit. The stomper's out, but he's got foot hammered down. Now, here's this turn we talked about. Kenny's got a tight one. He's got to straighten it out. There's about a half a length in the blue truck. The stomper comes back across. Bigfoot is in the win. The stomper truck is going to... I thought he took out the rotor, but he shut down.
Mike, when we watch the replay, the fans are going to get a chance to see Bigfoot literally leap all 8 cars. I think his front wheel came down on that 8th car. It was just an incredible leap by Bigfoot.
This is driving technique and driving style, and landing that truck so important when you run a pass like this. Kenny's been at it for quite some time and always does a great job, and he is the kind of driver you want to put in your truck.
Now stand by, because we'll be back in a moment. This is it, winner take all. There's Bigfoot. He'll be to the top of your screen, and 4-Wheel Crazy at the bottom. The winner takes it all.
Here we go.
Crowd is on its feet.
The little truck's got a lead. The little truck has got a lead, and here's the turn. Let's see who comes out on. Kenny has made it. The little truck overshot the turn. Foot is in the air.
Oh, and he'll win.
He's got to nail the throttle, and he does it.
Bigfoot wins it, leaping again over the cars. Mike, as he did in the semifinals, Kenny just leaped over. I mean, it was the power coming over the cars that won it for him.
He had to. He didn't have any choice.
Got an extra special twist here, Mike. We got a camera inside Bigfoot. Now, you think it looks great outside. Where do you see what this looks like inside?
Watch the little 4-Wheel Crazy truck. He has got a lead on Bigfoot right now, approximately a truck length. Now watch the turn. He's made it good all night long, but here he drifts way out of line. He's completely out of shape, and at that time, that's when Kenny Keeling lowers the boom on Bigfoot, and he takes it home to a win. He's parked in 4-Wheel Crazy. Finishes up for a very fine second, and he should be tremendously proud of that.
4-Wheel Crazy is a nice truck, but that guy was better tonight. Ken Keeling, the winner in the Battle of the Monster Trucks. Mike, the more I see these monster trucks, the more impressed I am. They seem to get better and better, not each year, but as each month goes by, we see better and more competition.
It's no doubt the motorsport of the future, and it's got excitement, it's got horsepower, and it takes a lot of skill to ride one of these monster trucks.
My friend, happiest of holiday wishes to you and yours.
Well, yourself, Ken Bruin. It's been a great time.
All righty. This has been the Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Fall Championships. And tonight we featured the Battle of the Monster Trucks. And it's been brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all that you do, this Bud's for you. Now this is Ken Bruce speaking for my partner, Mike Galloway, reminding you that this has been a presentation of Bud Sports through the facilities of ESPN.